Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday the 26th of March and we are glad to present you our weekly analytical review of the foreign exchange market. Last week, the pair EUR/USD showed mixed dynamics. After the decline to 1.2240 mark, the price resumed growth and is aiming at the upper line of Bollinger Bands to the area of 1.2415. This level is seen as the key for the bulls. Its breakout will give the prospect of growth to the levels of 1.25 and 1.2560. Otherwise, the quotes may return to the levels of 1.2325 and 1.2240. Technical indicators do not provide a clear signal. Stochastic turned upwards, MACD histogram is at the zero line, its volumes are insignificant. Fundamental events of the week include the publication of data on US GDP in the fourth quarter of last year and the March statistics of the Germany Consumer Price Index. Generally, the continuation of growth seems probable, but it is impossible to exclude the beginning of a decline if the price reverses in the area of 1.2415. Last week, the pair GBP/USD, after positive Brexit news, rose to the level of 1.4215. Further growth is possible to the levels of 1.4260 and 1.4340. In case of a breakdown of the level of 1.41, a decline to the levels of 1.3980 and 1.3890 is not excluded. Technical indicators do not provide a clear signal. Bollinger Bands are reversing upwards, and MACD histogram grows in the positive zone. Stochastic is at the overbought zone, which can lead to a reverse downwards. Fundamental events of the week include the publication of the data on GDP in the UK for the fourth quarter of last year. Generally, the continuation of growth seems probable, but one cannot exclude the resumption of a decline in case of breakdown of the level of 1.41. Last week, the pair USD/JPY broke down the repeatedly tested level of 105.60 and fell to the level of 104.60. This week, correction to the levels of 105.60 and 106.20 is not excluded. This can be said on the basis of Stochastic, which is reversing in the oversold zone. However, with the final consolidation of the price below the level of 105, the decrease to the levels of 104.20 and 103.40 is more probable. Fundamental events of the week include the February data on retail sales and industrial production in Japan, as well as the aggravation of the trade conflict between the US and China. Generally, the continuation of decline seems more probable, but one cannot exclude the upward correction to the area of 106.20. Last week, the pair AUD/USD showed mixed dynamics and mainly traded in the range of 0.7775 and 0.7690 marks, between the middle line of Bollinger Bands and Fibonacci correction of 38.2%. At the moment, these marks are seen as key levels. The breakout of the level of 0.7775 could lead to growth to the level of 0.7850 and 0.79. The breakdown of the 0.7690 mark will give the prospect of a decline to the levels of 0.7625 and 0.7560. Technical indicators generally indicate a decrease. Bollinger Bands turned downwards. MACD histogram is stable in the negative zone. Stochastic is turning downwards. Generally, the resumption of decline in case of breakdown of the level of 0.7690 seems more probable. Quotes of gold last week rose to the level of 1350 amid the beginning of the trade war between the US and China. The breakout of this mark will give the prospect of further growth to the levels of 1357 and 1365. However, overrun of the price chart beyond the upper line of Bollinger Bands indicates the possibility of a downward correction to the levels of 1335 and 1323. The possibility of correction is confirmed by Stochastic, which turns in the overbought zone. Generally, a downward correction seems more probable, but the resumption of growth in case of the breakout of the 1350 mark is not excluded. That's all for today, and good luck with your trading!